What's going on YouTube? It's United Gamer 101 here, and welcome to a guide on how to do Benhart's Questline. This one's a lot more difficult in my opinion than Lucatiel's, and it's a lot deeper into the game, so let's go ahead and get started. As you're coming towards Shaded Woods, which is a required area, so you will be here at one point, you will come across Benhart laying there, just sitting there, talking about how he can't go forward on his quest because some woman's blocking the door. You'll need a fragrant branch of yore, which you get from Harvest Valley, the Lost Center, plenty of places you can get them from, to unpetrify her. Once you do that, come back and talk to him.
What? Clearing the way as you're doing, was it? Didn't think you had it in you, pal. No. That's not like it sounds, no. It was a pleasant surprise, that's all. Name's Benhart. Thanks to you, I can resume my journey. If we share the same path, I'm sure that we are going to meet again. I'll repay my debt to you in battle. I swear it by my sword. The road ahead's going to be long, but I'm here to help. I am in your debt. It's a true man who honours his debts, and I'll see mine paid. I swear it by my ancient sword.
So now we're going to start summoning him. To do his quest line, you will have 4 opportunities to summon him for boss fights. The first one is Brightstone Cove, which is in this tent next to the bonfire, as you can see right here. Now, out of these 4 boss fights, you need him to be alive throughout the entire fight, even when the boss dies 3 out of 4 times. I will give my recommendations on which boss fights I recommend doing. That way it'll be a lot easier, but the first one is here in Brightstone Cove, and I recommend doing it. Next is after you access Drangleic Castle and you come across the Duel Dragon Riders boss fight. When you beat them, you can make your way to the bonfire and you'll see Benhart lying against the wall, and you need to talk to him.
Oh, well met, friend. Good to see you well. Yes, very good indeed. I journeyed from the distant east to perfect my swordsmanship. And legend has it that powerful beings slumber in this land. This sword has been in my family for generations, and only a real man can wield it true. I may face any manner of man or beast, but none shall be a match for my sword. This land is a right mess, eh? King's gone. The people have a mad glint in their eyes. The land itself is overrun by terrible beasts. No better place to test my sword, eh?
As you progress on, you'll come across King's Passage, which is the boss fight for this area. When you're looking towards the fog, straight to your left will be Benhart's summon sign, a lot easier to access, and I do recommend summoning him for this boss fight. I also recommend summoning someone else alongside it, like an actual player, if you can, to make it a lot easier to keep him alive. Now here's where things get a little bit tricky. You want to come back to the Forest of Fallen Giants and go to where the Pursuer boss fight is. There you will see him beside a tree of giants, and talk to him here.
Well, we meet again. What are you doing here? Who'd have thought we'd meet in a place like this? Fate just won't let us stay apart, will she? See, the old sword's caught your attention. Well, you've a good eye then. That has been in my family for generations. They say it is crafted with moonlight, and we all know what that means. It wards off evil. And I wouldn't trade her for all the riches in the world. It's said that no man has ever teased out the sword's true power. But in the right hands.
Now, I said as it gets a little bit tricky here, when you finish talking to him, I recommend going back to a bonfire, resting, and then accessing this tree. Before you do this, you will have to meet the ancient dragon in the dragon shrine, which is a part of the storyline. Once you do that, come back to the Forest of Fallen Giants and enter this Tree of Giants. Now, like I said, I recommend laying at a bonfire. This isn't where a boss is or anything, but it's another talk point before you can even summon him for the next boss. You'll see him against the wall right here, so go ahead and talk to him.
Oh, look at you, old friend. I see your travels way upon you yet. Just remember, I'm always ready to help. My homeland is in the Far East, a kingdom of honourable fighting men. And this sword yet awaits a true man to wield it. I know how swords think, you see.
Now that we've talked to him in the Pursuer boss fight area and that tree memory, we now can access to summon him for the Giant Lord boss fight. To do this, this is the route you need to take to get here, just in case anyone has a little bit of confusion. You'll need the King's Ring, but if you're this far, then you'll already have it. Just put the King's Ring on and open the door. But this is a boss fight I recommend not using him for, and the reason why is when you're going through this entire level, you summon him in the very beginning of the memory, and then he gets so damaged and dies all the time for me. No matter how fast I killed the boss fight, he would die from another enemy or something. So this is the most painful one to do, but he will be right here only if you talk to him in those two spots, that other memory and the Pursuer boss fight. Now let's go ahead and visit the last place we can summon him. The last boss fight. Nothing too hard. Technically not the last boss fight because it's the little pre-boss before it, but when you're in the Throne of Want, accessing here after Dragon Lake Castle, after all that you've done, it's the last boss in the game. He will be right here to your left, also head of Vengarl. But in this last boss fight, if you've beat the game or haven't, there's two boss fights. You only need to have him alive throughout the first one. That's the only one that matters. Now that you have summoned him 3 out of 4 boss fights and 1 with him alive, come back to the memory beside the Pursuer boss fight and talk to him.
We have outwitted death a good many times. Oh, my dear friend, take these.
And that's it. You will get the trophy and the full armor set and the weapon and shield. One of the coolest looking NPC armors in my opinion. I absolutely love it. And here's a little twist about it. He keeps on bragging about his great sword crafted from the moonlight. And if you read the description, it says there must be some kind of mistake because it's lifeless. And my guess is, and I'm pretty sure it's already out there in some lore and everything, I'm not really a lore expert, but that he thinks it's the Moonlight Greatsword, but it's like a fake. Because if you upgrade this thing plus 5 or plus 10, which I did to show it off, it still sucks. No scaling, only 320 damage, nothing special about it at all. So I'm pretty sure it's just, a misfortune that they expected it to be the Moonlight Greatsword, but it's not. Just a pretty cool factor I thought I'd throw in there, but thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys found this helpful if you were just looking for the trophy, the sword if you wanted it, or his armor set. Be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more Dark Souls 2 guides and videos. There's still many more coming. This week will be the boss armor sets, which will be really interesting, and then my Hex build, and then my Dexterity build that'll also be coming this week. Thank you guys so much. This has been United Gamer 101 here, and I'll see you guys later.